XL Nation. I still am not able to comfortably fit these double screens on OBS in a way that makes sense, along with our two cameras. Hang on, I'm just gonna hide. By the way, welcome. If you're watching this after the stream, watching the video on demand, I'm Fish, and below me is Blepnir. And if you hello, if you want to get into the actual meat of the conversation, we normally wait like 5 to 10 minutes before actually starting the good stuff, just so viewers can filter in. So if you are watching the video on demand later, just skip ahead 10 minutes. Or, I mean, you can watch this gorgeous banter between myself and Blepnir. It's gonna be tough for me, because I'm one of those many people that complains about not having the XLs. So, Pallet Town was busted. Yeah. And how have you been doing? Have you been doing Electric Cup or Great League at the moment? No. No, I right, yeah, no, it's Axon, right? Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Oh, hang on. Hold up. Turns out we can't hear Blepnir. Yeah. Yeah. Should be an easy fix. Say something?
Test.
Yeah, there we go. Huh. I would have thought that it would just automatically grab your voice rather than waiting for Lyle's voice again, but no, apparently I don't know tech.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that I've struggled with a lot when duos, is you have to like constantly change the sources, and you never know when you have to change a source or not.
So but yeah, you were saying
honestly from you and from just watching your duos and stuff. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I enjoy passing on information, passing on knowledge.
So what I was saying is that the Axon used a team using so there's Medicham in the lead, there's Umbreon in the back, and then there is Charizard as the safe swap.
Shadow?
Right. No, regular Charizard.
Ooh,
I definitely you need regular Charizard, and the reason why is because regular Charizard can survive a Sky Attack or a Shadow Ball comfortably and still get to a Blast Burn.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was using a Shadow Charizard team before that. I'm doing like I've said before, I'm doing a copycat challenge for content creators specifically. So every week we use a different content creator. This week we're doing Pogo King, Lord King IB himself. And he used a team using Shadow Charizard before this that I was not doing well with. And then he started using the Axon team. Instantly gained like 400 points so far.
Oh, wow.
It's an incredibly good team. People are saying that they don't like it because it's ABA weak to Charm, but I got to tell you, I've beaten so many Charm teams, even double Charm teams, just because Charizard is so strong against Charm.
Yeah, and like Charm's not as common this season as it was in previous seasons.
No. I think that it's making a resurgence now. My theory is that nobody wanted to run Charm back in the day because back in the beginning of the season, I should say, not like way back.
But yeah, way back in the olden times.
In the beginning of the season, no one wants to run a nerfed move, right? Like no one wants to run a move that's just like slightly crappier than it was before.
Yeah.
And then the meta shifted accordingly, and so now Charm is kind of making a comeback again. So you can't really run a team that's triple weak against Charm anymore. However, it's weak enough that Pokemon that are super strong like Medicham and like Charizard can handle it.
Yeah.
On their own.
It's like we all kind of overreact to these changes. Like Walrein saw a huge dip after its nerf. It's like it really wasn't much of a nerf. Nidoqueen.
Yeah, I mean, and they always come back. Nidoqueen, I thought was extinct until I saw a couple Nidoqueens yesterday. Definitely does not have the same impact that it used to, especially with, you know, just wing attack in general being buffed, and things like Noctowl being able to keep pace with the Poison Fangs. It just doesn't hit the same. We got Blepnir in chat. What's going on, Blepnir?
Hey, Blob.
Yeah. I might need to connect my second monitor here so that I can... You know, where's... Is this not?
Also, Beastard and HisuianRyan. Beastard has redeemed the dab. Now, does the guest want to do it, or does he want to just leave it to me?
Allow me. Let's do this. All right, are we ready? Are we ready for the dab?
Oh, that's gorgeous. That's fantastic. Yes, Infinite Oxide. I'm back and I'm here with Blepnir. We're going to talk some Ultra League Premier, which is Blepnir's favorite meta.
I wouldn't say favorite. I'd say that I've historically had the most success with it, just because I've gotten lucky with the XL Pokemon.
So what is your favorite meta?
I don't know, but because the thing is that the Ultra League Premier meta has been gone for so long that I genuinely don't know what it's going to look like.
Right.
I would say that it was my favorite back in the day. I think that it's my favorite. If everyone had access to XLs and it was fair, it would be my favorite.
So, I mean, the word fair, it's a charged word for me, because I feel like fair means everyone has an equal chance, and I feel like that is the case with Ultra Premier. Like, everyone does have an equal chance and the equal opportunities, but not all of them take advantage of it. Like myself, like I know that I don't have the XLs purely because I don't put in the effort to get them.
You mean you don't shill out all the money and use the less savory methods that some people use?
Yeah, I definitely don't use the unsavory
you
methods.
don't walk on a treadmill for 80 miles a day. For 120 kilometers a day.
Super Derek and Pedro, welcome in.
I'm trying to set up this computer monitor right now so that I can see the chat a little better.
They're all going crazy for Blepnir.
Hi guys. Hi mom.
Hi mom.
My mom's not here.
I made it.
Let me grab my other computer so that I can see chat.
All right.
How's that? My second screen is not working. I'll be right back, guys.
That's smart. When is it? Yeah. So you're all here to see the Blep, right? The Blepnir. Well, I kind of have two computers as well, but it's just because like when I finally replace my old computer, I don't get rid of it. So I've still got like the previous computer that I owned here in the house. And if I need to, I can get it out for whatever purpose it's needed for. Well defended, Super Derek. I was worried there for a minute. Yeah, far out. This is so annoying that Discord has to be on top for that to show. That makes things so difficult. Oh, there it is. No, and now it's gone.
Alrighty. I've got the chat window in HD.
Yeah, you do.
So, anyways,
yeah,
that they're that it is fair. I think that there is definitely, I mean, undoubtedly a higher barrier to entry than Great League, right?
Yeah, true.
However, I was talking about this on my own stream today. Some people were bringing up the fact that Great League is going away forever this season in 2 days, right?
No, forever this season. Yeah, it had me thinking like, forever, what? But yeah.
Going away forever this season.
This season, yeah.
My brain's lifespan basically only exists for the course of a season, right? Like that's why I said way back in the day for like the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah. So people were saying like it's really unfortunate because one person in my chat actually got up to like 2970 something, and he does not have any Ultra League mods or any Master League mods. Which is understandable, you know. Some people, it's just not their jam. They enjoy the accessibility of Great League. However, I do think that there is a potential to climb to Legend in the Ultra League Premier using easily accessible Pokemon. So that's something that I definitely would be interested in exploring. Like easily accessible as in like either the XLs are... very easily obtainable or like not excel at all, you know.
Sure. All right, so I mean we've had our 10 minutes. I am just about to send a tweet of my own.
There we go.
And
Let's go.
I think we're ready to go. Yeah, do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so I mean right off the bat, the clear... Can you see my PV poke window?
I can, yes.
Okay, so right off the bat, we have the clear answer, which is Swampert, right? Swampert, I think.
Hang on, I've got to interrupt you again.
Meta.
Sorry,
yeah.
We just had a massive raid from Queen Aurora. Hey, Queen Aurora.
Yo, Queenie was hanging out in Will Cujo's stream. Will Cujo, I don't know if you know Will Cujo, but he had his first ever stream. Yes.
You introduced me to him.
Friend of the community. I did?
Yes, we were talking about factions.
Well, that makes me very happy. Yes, Will Cujo, huge friend of the community. He's orchestrated more raids for me than I think, like basically the majority of the raids I've gotten, it's from Will Cujo telling people to raid me. His first time ever streaming went better than I could have imagined. I was blown away by how talented he was.
Oh, Will's
and Queen Aurora
well.
was there. Yeah. Yeah, he had his first stream. Queen Aurora was there. And Queen Aurora has also raided me on the Pallet Town channel before. I didn't have sound alerts on, so I missed that. That's why I was so urgent on getting sound alerts figured out.
Yep, and we've sorted that out now. Yeah. So, Queen Aurora, you can feel free to raid him again, and he will notice this time. We promise.
Yes. Yes.
He won't ignore you like the rude man he is.
Yes, we have so much love for Will Cujo. So much love for Queen Aurora. I had a lot of fun in your duo stream with Decibel Viper, by the way.
That does sound fun. They are two very fun names.
A lot of
That's right.
A lot of positivity.
No, actually, I'm taking back the positivity, Queen Aurora. We were ignoring you deliberately.
No. No. I never want Queen Aurora to think that.
And just a quick one. How was your stream, Aurora? Oh, that's a gorgeous emote. Sad face, Espion.
If it looks like I'm staring off to the side, I'm reading chat.
Yeah, it's same here with my. I've got my secondary monitor here with the PV pokes on them. I'm picturing someone skipping ahead to the 10-minute mark of the VOD, and us still just going on and on about the non Ultra League Premier related things.
I think it's great. Give Will Cujo a watch. He's historically he's streamed around he's streamed pretty late recently. I wasn't able to catch him, but around midnight Eastern Standard Time is when he's been streaming.
There we go. Gave him a shout out. Just a cheeky shout out. And I will set a reminder for myself to go follow him. Okay, so
it's not biased, Queen Aurora. It's facts.
It can't be biased if it's indisputable fact.
So right off the bat, I was talking about accessible teams for the Ultra League Premier, and I think that Swampert is the #1 accessible Pokemon. I think that there are a lot of teams that you can simply RPS, rock, paper, scissors, using a Swampert in the lead. Obviously, you need to take a look at the meta and figure out, what are you seeing in the meta. But I cannot imagine a world where you lose every single lead with Swampert. You're gonna beat some stuff. Just looking at this meta here, look at this. Steelix, right in the lead, gets destroyed by Swampert. Galarian Stunfisk destroyed by Swampert. Scrafty is very tough. Scrafty can defeat Swampert in most equal scenarios. Pidgeot has a fairly positive matchup with Swampert. Aurorus gets destroyed by Swampert. Surfetched, anything that has a lot of fast move pressure, Swampert struggles against.
How accessible is it these days though? If you don't actually have a Swampert, then how often are Mudkips spawning?
Oh geez, I mean, I guess that I think that it is the most accessible that you can ask for. If you look in, it's just as accessible as it is in Great League, basically. Because sure, you have to pay another 60,000, 70,000 more Stardust, but I would say it's relatively accessible. But we can keep on looking down here. There are definitely more options. Charizard, of course, is another one of those Pokemon which is quote unquote accessible. It is double legacy. You can spice it up. You can go with the Dragon Breath, of course.
I've also made Overheat Charizard work.
Yes, definitely Overheat hits even harder than Blast Burn, and oftentimes you can kind of play around the debuffing aspect of Overheat. Fire Spin does not have as much play, unfortunately, now as it used to. I would not recommend going for Fire Spin.
Yeah, totally.
Unless you plan your team around it. It could work. Could definitely work.
Fire Spin will give you an advantage facing a G-Fisk, which we see is up here at number 3. Let's
Would it give you an advantage?
Well, it's
Should we
better
break
than
out the
wing attack.
sim?
Yeah, let's break out the sims. So we got Ultra League level 50. We got Charizard with the old Fire Spin versus Stunfisk. It would still be a loss, I imagine, in all the equal shields. Oh no, Charizard does win with a bait in the ones.
Fascinating.
That is. I did not expect that. And in the zeros.
Yes, that's the Ultra League bulk for you. That's the reason why I like Ultra League so much, is because you're not just getting one shot by a non-stab Rock Slide anymore, you know?
Yeah, look at that. That's only like 80% damage. That's impressive. Like, I'd be happy with that.
Yeah, so I mean, Fire Spin actually looking pretty solid here, I think.
But like, that's one thing that it can do over wing attack. Like, would you still have? Is that enough to make you go for Fire Spin over wing attack?
No, for me at least. Arno Gods, welcome in. Zimmy Kid, welcome in. Wow, we got a stacked chat right now.
Yeah.
But for me at least, Charizard is a very strategic Pokemon that you basically win by farming energy somewhere, getting a lot of wing attacks in, and then basically just winning the game through sheer charge move pressure.
Yeah.
That's how I've won with Charizard historically. And you know, Fire Spin Charizard, that's a different beast. Dragon Breath Charizard is even more so a different beast. You're charging even slower, and you're not doing stab damage.
I mean, yeah, look at this.
But it can work.
Shadow Charizard rated 100 as a charger, which is Pokemon that do well with an energy lead.
I'd be interested to see if it lives a Rock Slide. I do think it lives a Rock Slide, but yeah, I do think it lives a Rock Slide, but I don't think it can live like all the mud shots it would take in the matchup.
Nah, it doesn't look like it. So Rock Slide 95%, and each mud shot doing 1.3. So, you know, five.
That's a point against the Shadow. Yeah. That's a point against the Shadow Zard, definitely.
Totally. By the way, anyone in chat who is sticking around for this, we love it when we get input from you guys. That really fuels the conversation. So I see Super Derek suggesting Ultra League level Frostlass. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Well, number one, I have a Hundo Frostlass somehow and the XLs for it, so I'm very excited to try it out.
Rated 166.
Someone I'm content creating would have to use it, but I think it's a really exciting Pokemon. I don't think it's good. I think that it's entirely underwhelming simply by the fact that look at this here. Your stat product is 3,400. That is not great considering that it doesn't have the greatest moveset in the world. Powder Snow is a pretty mid move. Avalanche is a pretty mid move. Shadow Ball is
Hold on. Powder Snow is not a middling move. Powder Snow is very good.
It's a mid move considering the 3,400 stat product, which places it at around the same stat product as, I believe, Machamp. I might be wrong, but it's not great. Yeah, Machamp has a much higher stat product. And I'm saying middling in comparison to like Counter. The reason why Machamp works is because Counter is such a great damage move and also an okay charging move for its charge attacks. Frostlass is not dealing the fast move pressure. It does not get to its charge moves quickly enough. I'm pretty sure that it actually loses against Machamp. I've not run the Sims. Can you see my screen right now?
Yeah.
You can see the sim?
Yep.
Okay, so let's see how it does against Machamp. I'd be curious to know Machamp Shadow or regular. That's not great, you know. No. But that is with baiting, of course.
Yeah.
Let's see going straight cross chop. It might be able to win here. Yeah, it does win going straight cross chop, but in the 2 shields, still wins in the 2s. But you see how much these counters are doing. It's kind of sad when a ghost type can get countered down so easily. So what I'm saying is that Frostlass is just a little bit too fragile to be necessarily super meta.
Gets the thumbs down.
I think it. No, it doesn't get the thumbs down. I think that it's maximum spice. Like, it's very unique in its typing and moveset, and that makes it a really cool spice pick. The way that you can use it very effectively is in a dragon-rich meta, like farming down a dragon type with Powder Snows, or one-shotting a dragon type with the Avalanche.
It's just occurring to me, this meta seems quite open. Like, so I've talked on this channel before about how, like, I draw the line at 82 overall score. Like, anything above 82 is, like, generally your meta. And anything below that is, like, sure, you can make it work, but it's a lot harder. 144 Pokemon above that line is really good.
Yeah, I think that makes for a healthy meta.
Yeah.
Having a lot of Pokemon that are viable. Let's see, what's down in the 82 rank? Oh man, Clefable just not quite hitting that mark, but it's a Charmer. That doesn't count. If there's anything I've learned this season it's that RPS Pokemon, the rules don't really apply. Like if the meta is weak against Charm, by all means use the Clefable.
Sure. Thank you for the Poliano Gods. And Dr. Banner says, have you checked out his boy Noctowl?
Noctowl, yes, of course.
I mean, it's rated above the meta line. Those three losses are pretty standard. Obviously you're gonna beat the grasses pretty handily. The fight, like, there's nothing really surprising here. I like the Swampert though, beating the regular Swampert in the one shield.
It definitely is not as strong as it is in the Great League. I don't think that anyone was fooled by that, because you can see here the CP being 2288. That's not going to do it. Obviously, you can get Best Buddy, right? And that, I think it will do a little bit better, Best Buddy.
That's a reasonable stat product, though.
Reasonable. Not great. It's a less than 1,000 less than the big boys like Umbreon.
Sure. Imagine if level 60 becomes a thing, though. Like,
let's see it.
My word.
Let's see it. Level 60. You can't even put in level 60 right now. I don't know why. But look at this. 55 already. You're basically at Ultra League level.
Yeah, there you go. With a 42-41 stat product.
And that is when I think that things get a little dicey. I think that once level 60 comes around, if it does come around, you're going to see a lot of stuff that is just going to be like bizarrely tanky,
Yeah.
Bizarrely strong.
So what would you pair with a Noctowl then? It's got to be anti-ice and anti-steel, so you'd have to...
Well, we've got this nice handy chart here, right? The new PvPoke suggested teammates.
I haven't seen that. Yeah, right.
So really? You haven't seen this?
No.
I love this feature.
How long has that been?
This feature is doing our jobs for us. It's been here for like a month. And so you can see here, you can just put in whatever you want. I do like the Noctowl Dubwool core.
Yeah. If Lyle was here, he'd be just shouting about Dubwool from the rooftops. He absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree with him.
I hear him now.
Yeah. No. It is a brilliant pivot. Like, it's so good.
And I have 20 more XL candies to go for it.
Is that all? Oh, that's not much.
Yeah.
I've been walking
it for 3 months.
Wow.
Yep. So you can see here that no, I have a lucky 98.
Okay, yeah, that works.
But it's a good 98. It's a 98 that has 15 attack, so I'll take it.
Yeah, sure.
And you see here, suggested teammates. Stunfisk, of course, would be great. All of these, honestly, would be great. The Machamp and the Sirfetch'd are a little bit more technical because they're incredibly glassy. Stunfisk and Swampert, very safe. Double, I think, is the strongest choice in terms of climbing and being meta because Double is super bulky. Noctowl is fairly bulky. In terms of stuff to pair with the two, there's the most boring line in existence, in my opinion, which would be Double, Pidgeot, Noctowl.
Double
you guys must have seen the Pidgeot up here at rank 5. Incredibly strong Pokemon.
It's still losing to those steals and the steals and ices, I guess.
Pidgeot?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean Pidgeot has no coverage against the steel types.
Yeah.
It's another Pokemon that you kind of need to best buddy, but you can see here that at best buddy, it actually has it gets kind of bulky. It gets to almost 3,900, and considering that its moveset is so terrifying with the Feather Dance and the Brave Bird, 3,900 stat product Pokemon is incredibly terrifying.
Yeah. Level 60 for that win. And look at this, Pidgeot and Shadow Machamp, just those two Pokemon alone have a B for coverage. Losing to Skarmory, Mantine, Luxray, Unova, Stunfisk, Bronzong, Alolan Raichu, Electivire, Kanto, Raichu, Lunestone, Solrock, like that. Nothing. You're losing to nothing, basically. Skarmory may be the only thing you'll see out of that list in ULP.
So basically the same stuff that works with Pidgeot, widely speaking, does work with Noctowl. The one thing is that Pidgeot is more RPS, as we call it, right? Pidgeot. Noctowl has coverage, which I really like, but it's weaker overall. It's just incredibly weaker. Like basically a Shadow Ball, a neutral Shadow Ball from a Noctowl will not hit as hard as a resisted Brave Bird from Pidgeot.
Yeah. So, how about a line of like Shadow Charizard lead, and then Pidgeot and Machamp.
Dr. Banner asks, so should the Pidgeot be buddied over the Noctowl? I will say yes, and the reason why is because the Pidgeot is going to be seeing more CMP ties, right? Pidgeot is very accessible. Anyone that's been like catching relatively constantly will have enough Pidgeot XLs. I think I have like 600 Pidgeot XLs or something like that. So you will be seeing those CMP ties, and you will beat it with the best buddy Pidgeot. Whereas you might see some Noctowls, but number one, the CMP isn't quite as important with Noctowl because its charge moves don't hit quite hard enough to cause a KO, right? So, yeah, I would recommend best budding the Pidgeot. We got Wikipedia. Wikipedia saying, "Hey, it's Blepnir. What's going on, Wikipedia?" And we are going over the Ultra League Premier meta.
So, what do you think of the Charizard Pidgeot Machamp? Do you think that works as a line?
Charizard Pidgeot Machamp?
Yeah, probably Shadow.
Yes.
Charizard.
Yes. So I would probably put Charizard as the safe swap.
Okay.
So Machamp lead, Charizard safe swap to either beat Stunfisk in the swap by like baiting and getting off a blast burn eventually, or just baiting it out and countering it all the way down.
I want to see what happens if you try to safe swap Charizard and they've got a Swampert. Because I reckon, because you get to the Dragon Claws at the same pace as the Hydro Cannons, you might be able to like 2-shield your way through that. Is my guess.
I don't know, because because of the increased bulk in Ultra League. Maybe if you give it a 3-turn advantage or so.
Give a 1-wing attack, see if that makes a difference. Oh, okay. Interesting. I mean, you are getting it to 11 HP, so maybe you can... No, in this situation you're already getting both shields out of it. I guess, would they shield... I don't think they'd ever shield the first move, would they?
Probably not. They do in Great League, though. They usually do.
Okay.
But in Ultra League, probably not.
Okay, so... Let me... unshield that, and I'll make that a blast. So we try and blast burn the first one.
Now, is this Shadow? Is this Shadow or
yes.
regular? Okay. No, is this Shadow? Okay, yeah, you have Shadow.
Yeah. So we blast burn the first one. We are shielding both of those Hydro Cannons. We do get to a Dragon Claw here. Okay, there you go.
Yeah. That's kind of huge.
Yeah. So if you land the first blast burn, then you're in a good spot after that. Oh, except, hang on. No, they've still got another shield here. So if they shield that, they get to the Hydro Cannon. So never mind.
Dr. Banner is curious about Dragon Breath. Can we Dragon Breath down the Swampert?
Doesn't look like it.
No.
And that's on too much HP remaining. Throwing the Dragon Claws. So not throwing Dragon Claws won't make a difference there. Bummer. And then the other problem with that is that you don't have a direct hard counter to the Swampert as well. So like the Swampert can come in and take out that Charizard easily, and then like you don't have anything that can, soak up any extra energy or anything like that.
Yeah, what about something like Trevenant double flyer?
So Trev lead, Pidgeot and Charizard?
Yes.
I like that. So you'd use the Charizard as your safe swap still?
I would, definitely. I would never use a Pidgeot as a safe swap, personally.
Because...
Unless the meta called for it. Because it's, it doesn't have any coverage moves.
Yeah, sure. And you can't Brave Bird and dip if you've used it as your pivot.
And that ain't in the cards.
Scrafty. Like Scrafty over Shadow Machamp. Like what's your favorite fighter here?
Scrafty is very technical. Scrafty, even more technical than Shadow Machamp, just because you have to set up for a power-up punch down for it to be like the most successful. So I think that Machamp is easier to use than Scrafty. I think that, just broadly speaking, but if you enjoy a situation where you have to like think about like, okay, I gotta set up Scrafty for the power-up punch down, then it's your guy. It outbulks a bunch of stuff that Machamp doesn't. You see here, Machamp actually picks up Alolan Ninetales.
That's huge.
Yeah. Although that is Powder Snow.
It would be. It wouldn't be Charm. Scrafty cannot hit Alolan Ninetales. It does get a close in the 2 shields.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, it's finishing you off with a, the thingo, Dazzling Gleam.
Dr. Banner, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your input. Lucario, Shadow Gliscor, Pidgeot, says Dr. Banner. I like that. The problem with that is that Shadow Gliscor isn't as good of a safe swap as Charizard is. If I use Lucario and Shadow Gliscor, I'd probably put Charizard in the back. Although then you would have a much weaker matchup versus the Stunfisk.
Actually, I don't mind Shadow Gliscor as a safe swap. Because, like, a Shadow Earthquake is busted.
Mm-hmm.
So, let me try, like, Shadow Gliscor versus Swampert. We'll give the Swampert 1 wing attack of energy lead, and we'll go to 0 shields. Let's see if an Earthquake is enough to KO. Let's go Shadow Swampert, see how that goes. Because a Hydro Cannon does 81%, Earthquake does also 81%.
Mm.
There you go.
Ooh.
Right?
Yeah, and the
Right?
0 shields, definitely. But that would make it, I think that would also make it a good closer. Right?
Okay.
That's when the shields would be most likely to be down. But yeah, it'd be great to guarantee shields, the safe swap.
You can at least take a shield from the Swampert, which Charizard doesn't seem to be able to do.
Yeah.
You can come in, you can get out. So if you were to safe swap the Gliscor, like, you could at least take a shield from the Swampert, which, yeah, Charizard can't do.
Mm.
Getting rid of these tabs.
Yeah, it's Tab City with these PvP poke simulations. I know it. Escavalier is kind of interesting to me.
Oh, okay.
The steel bugs in general are kind of crazy, right? Like, they only take super effective damage from fire.
Mm-hmm.
Now, albeit that's double super effective, so you get erased off of the face of the earth if you see a Talonflame. But it's kind of like Swampert in that regard, that you can, like, really plan around the one weakness.
So, how good of a core is Escavalier Swampert? That sounds like a brilliant core to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like you said, the Escavalier's only weakness is fire, which Swampert obliterates, and Swampert's only weakness is grass, which Escavalier obliterates.
Well, you know, we got some kind of nasty gradings here. We got bulk as a D and coverage as an F, which is fair.
Okay.
Coverage being an F because of the fact that both of them struggle a lot with flying.
Never mind.
No. I mean, I think that it's fine. I think the thing is that PvPoke doesn't really take into account the realistic meta.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Trevenant is a problem.
Yeah,
obviously.
huge problem. Yep. And I imagine Jellicent would be as well. A huge problem.
Are we really going to see any Jellicent? What's Jellicent ranking at?
Surely. 158,
158.
really?
Jellicent has seen a huge decline in viability, at least in the simulations recently, just because of Trevenant and the fact that Hex is kind of a dog shit fast move compared to Shadow Claw. I'm sorry.
Wow.
I do think that I bet that it's gonna show its face very briefly. Like, there'll be some crazy team, a timeout team. You know, you've seen, you know, the timeout teams, right?
Yeah.
You've seen the Jellicent timeout teams. It's definitely viable.
It made a
I do not
big
miss
splash
the
in
timeout
Weather
teams.
Cup. Oh, was it Weather Cup? No,
Yeah.
Holiday Cup. Holiday Cup. Like,
Holiday Cup.
yeah, the Ultra League Holiday Cup. That was like Aurora's Obstagoon Giratina Cup.
Yes, that is true.
The Jealous one was a big one.
But also in the Weather Cup. I mean, also in the Holiday Cup, right? Oh, it's 6 o'clock. It's time for double candies, folks. It's time to. I guess it's only for me because I'm in a specific time. I need to transfer a bunch of stuff.
Should we take like an hour's break or?
Nope, I have it all labeled.
You've got it all labeled. All right, cool.
Yeah. Was Jellicent allowed in the Holiday Cup?
Yeah. Yeah,
I definitely remember seeing it there.
Yeah, because it gave my team a ton of trouble. Coffer Grigus ranked 63. 10, 15, 15, so it doesn't have to be a hundo. I know, that's...
Coffer Grigus.
If I had tried to be that organized, it would take... I would spend longer trying to get organized than it would just if I did it without organizing.
Well, I was so smug, and then I realized that I had half the stuff accidentally starred, so now I have to unstar everything. Transfer. Oh man, I have so many Ormoras that I traded in San Diego during the regional. I'm so happy to get these double candies for those.
CS Hate says, is that the Blepnir, the one who competed in the San Diego regional?
That's me!
That's him!
I'm the Blepnir. How you doing?
The Blepnir. Can you change your name to the Blepnir?
Yes. I will legally change my name to the Blepnir just for Mr. Height and yourself. I'm doing fantastic now that you're here.
Make it a sub.
How are you doing? Oh, okay. That would be... I would make it like a... What do you call it? Like the collective sub goal of 1 million points.
1 million. We need 1 million subs.
Yeah.
For Blepnir to legally change his name to the Blep. Alright, well, get subbing, guys.
At least I'll make it a prefix. The.
So when you're filling out forms and they ask for your prefix, it's like Mr., Mrs., and the.
No, it's the. Yeah. It's a long story. I had a sub goal. I had a point goal.
So there's this game called Pokemon Go.
Start from the beginning, as if the DMV lines aren't long. All right, so double candy has been acquired.
Excellent.
And so Mr. Height, Mr. Charles S. Height, what are you thinking about Ultra Premier? Are you going to be playing Ultra Premier? Are you going to be playing Ultra Classic, Ultra Open at all? Bullock, that would be on my own channel. Okay, I would not put that on onto the rest of the Pallet Town team to undertake.
I was very much looking forward to it being a Pallet Town thing.
I mean, the fish on the heater.
Oh yeah, right. It's yeah.
It's not just the fish; it's the heater.
The heater. The fish on the heater. Sounds like I'm learning Duolingo.
Yeah. All right. Mr. Height says that he's not even sure if he's going to be playing. That's fair. That is very fair.
Which one is Ultra Premier? Should we have started with that?
Ultra Premier is the cup where you're not allowed to use legendaries or mythicals or Ultra Beasts, which I guess are mythical or legendaries. Yeah, so it's just the good old normal non-godlike Pokemon. And you can get up to level 50 with them.
Yeah, hoard those XL
XL
packs.
League. But we've been saying, so what I've been trying to argue is that you definitely don't need XLs to hit Legend in the Ultra Premier.
But it doesn't hurt.
The star, it does not hurt, and in fact, it does help to have the XLs. You're basically playing on hard mode if you don't have the XLs. But Swampert is the star player without XLs, Other players are, of course, Trevenant. It's quite good. The Dragons, Dragonite, Komodo. Although Komodo is basically as hard to get as an XL in this day and age, in this economy. Gliscor, of course, is quite rare, but it does not need to be excelled. That's a point in its favor. Walrein does not need to be excelled. Obstagoon. Lucario, the fighters, lots of fun fighters.
We've had
that
questions
don't need
about
to be excelled.
Shadow A9 and Pelipper as well, so I want to address those in a minute. Yeah, keep going.
Well, that's just what I'm saying is that
sure.
There are a bunch of possible options that don't need to be excelled. Let's explore Alolan Ninetales. Specifically Shadow Alolan Ninetales. I imagine that was it Queenie that wants to know about Alolan Ninetales?
It was CS Height.
Alright. Mr. Height wants to know about, are you interested in the Shadow version? Because I know that I am.
Yeah, and it is ranked higher than the non-Shadow. It doesn't have the big appealing thing about Shadow A9 in Great League is that it can beat G-Fisk in the 2s with one Powder Snow of Energy lead. I don't know if that'll be the same here because of the extra bulk.
Let me put it into a matrix. Alolan Ninetales and Shadow Alolan Ninetales. I'm not the PvP Poke warrior that FishOnAHeater is, but I'm interested in finding this out. So we import the Ultra Premier meta here, right? And we battle. And then we can just go through the list and we see that both of them have a positive matchup versus Abomasnow. Both of them have a negative matchup versus Aurorus. Seeing very few changes. Let's see the
Shadow
differences
beats
here.
the Charizard. The Shadow A-Tails beats the Shadow Charizard.
That's kind of huge.
CS wants to add the Charm variant. See, I don't know about the Charm variant. I feel like that's more RPS.
It is more RPS. There's nothing wrong with being RPS, I say.
I hate it.
Then it becomes less about tactics and more about reading the meta.
Right.
So let's see. What's the overall battle rating between them?
If you scroll all the way to the right. There we go.
All right, so we got 522 and 531.
That's not much different.
Then we go to Charm. Not that much different. And when the difference is that little, it comes down to what changes in the what matchups they win, right, or lose. So we're going to Charm variant. We battle.
And
okay,
again,
so
still not much different.
It's basically the same. Basically the same. Let's see how it... Oh, oops.
You do need Charm for Ace. Oh yeah, you don't want to scroll. Scroll too fast, otherwise it goes back. Yeah, you do need Charm for your Walrein, and you need it for fighters. I think Powder Snow is better against everything else though.
Yeah, it does do better against everything else. However, the reason why you would use Charm is if either A, you need fast move pressure, like if you're in a team with 2 Mudshot users, you kind of want fast move pressure on the team, right? That's something that I think is that I always want fast move pressure if I'm in Go Battle League.
Sure.
Specifically, like maybe in Silph, you don't need it because there's much more strategy involved in the matchups.
Sure.
But Charm has a lot of potential to sweep in the 2 shields. If you're clever, you can set up a situation where you go into the final matchup, the closing matchup, with 2 shields, and you can just charm down. And Shadow Ninetales will always be better at that in that 2 shield scenario.
Okay, so what about if I go multi here? I'm gonna go Charm Shadow A-Tails. I'm gonna go 2 shields versus. We'll give 2 shields to the. Or maybe we'll just go the 2/2 shields. And get rid of that energy. We want to go Ultra Premier. 31 wins, 22 losses. You're losing against Nidoqueen, G-Fisk, Ferrothorn. So yeah, I mean nothing surprising there. Poison, Steel, Fire. Poison, Steel, Fire, Normal. Steel.
That's surprising.
Ghost. I mean, I don't know how much this is going to be able to charm the things down that you want it to charm down. So, is there anything that it surprisingly beats? We got Toxicroak, I guess, is an interesting one. It'll beat Shadow Drapion.
I'm gonna put the Powder Snow versus the Charm variant into the Matrix.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Charm picks up Blaziken, Drapion, Lapras, Alolan Ninetales itself, obviously, and Scrafty. Yikes! Yikes! Powder Snow can't beat Scrafty apparently. Powder Snow, Alolan Ninetales.
That's the ones.
Yes, and the ones. I guess I should go into the 2s.
Well, thank you, CSA. We do this every Tuesday night. It's normally myself and Lyle Jeffs, who is a GBL leaderboard first pager. Him and I, you normally have
we call him Page 1.
A Page 1er.
Yeah, we call him. No, that's his nickname. Is Page 1.
Oh yeah. Well, we've actually already made the sub goal. It's 900,000 subs, and he will legally change his name to the Page 1er.
That's correct.
But yeah, we do this every Tuesday night for each upcoming custom GBL meta. And I very much appreciate Blepnir for stepping in tonight.
It was my pleasure. I hope that I'm able to, you know, I don't want to say fill the shoes of Mr. Jeffs, but at least not like, I don't want the shoes to come off while I'm walking. I want to kind of be able to stumble around in them.
Now, actually, fun fact about
but
Lyle,
I'm having a lot of fun.
Very small feet. Like, weirdly small. Yeah.
Is this becoming part of the canon now?
Yeah.
Is this canonical?
I think it has to, right?
Yeah. This is kind of crazy. The Shadow Alolan Ninetales wins in the 2s versus Empoleon.
There we go. That's what I wanted to see.
Spice. That is a crazy fact.
Yeah, because didn't even pick that up.
You would never imagine that Alolan Ninetales could win against Empoleon in any scenario.
Okay, yeah, it wasn't in the meta list. That's what. Oh no, it is. Okay, hang on. Wait a minute. Why am I getting a different result? Yours is in the 2/2 shield, right?
No, mine's in the 2-1.
Right.
Yeah. But still, it's a good thing to know that it picks up the. It's a good thing to know it picks up the Empoleon in the 2-1 shield.
Yeah.
Whereas obviously the Powder Snow version just has no chance there.
Yeah.
Whatsoever.
Yeah, that is very good to know.
Yeah, look at this. Look at how many matchups the Charm version picks up in the 2s. I think that I did it right this time. I got 2 shields on both sides. And so we have Abomasnow, Aurorus, Blaziken, Escavalier, Greedent, Lapras, Shadow Machamp, Obstagoon, Politoed, Poliwrath, Scrafty. Yeah, so I mean, I think that just in the general scheme of things, Charm is better in the 2 shields, but you can't always guarantee a 2-shield scenario.
Oh, I mean, you can guarantee a 2-shield scenario. There are certain ways you can guarantee a 2-shield scenario.
You can't guarantee a 2-shield scenario in the back.
Right.
Yeah. And we got AJ in the chat. Shout out AJ.
Yeah.
AJ is my Twitch wife.
Oh, yeah.
We're Twitch married.
Is that like a legal document?
It's Twitch legal.
It's Twitch.
Uh-huh.
You get certain legal benefits
we have a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun in the Exo Gremlin Discord. Yeah, there.
And she said she's not used to seeing you stationary.
Yes, yeah. This is why I only do these sorts of things on the Pallet Town channel, so that I can keep the Blepnir channel pristine. You know.
You bring your filth over here. Your filthy stationary content.
Yeah, my schlubby body. I feel like people would get discouraged if they saw me not breaking the sweat on the official channel.
Like, I believed in you, man.
Shut up, Mr. Height.
Does your Twitch marriage to AJ extend to here, or is it like you know what? If you're married in Vegas, you're not really married. Like,
I feel like this is the type of situation where it's like it's kind of like role playing that we don't know each other, so it's kind of kinky like that.
All right, for real.
Yes. So just to catch AJ and everyone up, we are looking at the detriments and benefits of all of the Alolan Ninetales variants. We've got the Powder Snow variant, we've got the Charm variant, we've got the Shadow Powder Snow variant, Shadow Charm variant, and then obviously we also have the question of whether or not you use Psyshock or Dazzling Gleam.
I mean,
so Shadow Ninetales has opened up a lot of doors for different combinations.
I mean, there wouldn't be any reason to stray from the accepted standard, right? Psyshock on Charm and Dazzling Gleam on Powder Snow.
I've seen so many Dazzling Gleam Charm Ninetales, it's kind of crazy. And when I say so many, I mean like 5, which is kind of a lot still. And the reason why is because Ninetales is just about bulky enough that it can eventually reach that Dazzling Gleam if it farms something down, you know, or if it shields once or twice.
And I guess because less people expect it, then they don't shield the Dazzling Gleam, which can score a KO on a lot of things.
There are a few times where that's really handy, especially like say someone comes in with a Dark type versus your Ninetales to finish it off, and then you throw a move, it's going to be like, oh, this is just a Weather Ball. I don't have to worry about this. Boom! Dazzling Gleam to the face.
Straight to the jugular.
But I wouldn't recommend it. I think that that's something you have to play with yourself. I definitely think that Psyshock is the recommended move.
You heard it here first. Blepnir wants you to play with yourself. Next up, we had the Pelipper suggestion.
We got Pelipper.
Yeah, is ranked 22. So it's a
impressive rank, considering that it only gets up to barely 2,400 CP.
Yeah, so it has to be.
You have to remember though, the tricky thing with these Pokemon that don't get up to 2,500 CP is that they all perform a little bit better best buddied, right? I can actually put that in the matrix, the best buddy versus the regular. See if it does pick up any matchups. Because I remember, I think I remember seeing way back in the day, when XLs first came out, I was kind of obsessed with XL Pelipper. I remember seeing that the best buddy did help out. But that was obviously before the wing attack buff, before a lot of stuff happened. So we got the non-best buddy. We have the best buddy. Let's put them into the grinder. That's in the 2 shields. I'll do the 1 shields actually. 1 shield. Yeah. So you see here, it beats Kingdra and Umbreon.
2 very good picks.
Let that sink in. Let that sink in. Umbreon, the bulkiest Pokemon in the Ultra League Premier. That's impressive.
Yeah. And so what's happening there? Is it like, are you just getting to another, like, are you surviving an extra foul play or something?
I'm not sure if I can see that here in the Matrix. I might have to put in the Sims.
If you click on, hang on, if you go back to that last tab.
Yeah.
If you click on the number.
Oh, I just click on that? Okay.
I'm pointing at it like you can see me.
I'm figuring this out. So, wow, actually, so it loses by 2 turns in the level 50 version. Whereas it wins by 1 turn. So that's a 3-turn difference.
So I think it's just surviving that last foul play and getting off a wing attack. Is that right? Or is there a break point, a wing attack break point?
Wait, let me pull up this one again. Let's see here. So wing attack does 3 damage. Versus... I need to... get these in different windows.
Yeah, it's still 3 damage, so it's not the break point. So it's probably
it just
surviving
survives.
that. Yeah, it just survives. It just survives. It just survives.
Which is kind of crazy. It survives with 18 health. That's a lot. Maybe it's a bulk point. Let's see, 3 damage versus 3 damage. Foul play does 41 damage versus 41. For 64. Oh, there it is. 65 for the Hurricane.
Wow, literally that minute difference. Now, okay, that means in an actual battle situation, that's probably not going to be of any consequence, right?
But it's also, I think, the extra HP and defense coming into play a little bit. I'm just trying to figure out why it survives with 18 health in the level 51 scenario versus not surviving at all.
Alright, let me bring it up myself.
Okay, I figured it out. It is that extra 1 damage from the Hurricane, because you see here that the Umbreon actually lives with 2 hit points.
Yeah.
In the level 50 scenario where it dies in the level 51 scenario. Kind of crazy. Like, it literally is just those 2 damage.
Yeah, right. But basically getting from this that, like, best buddy is not essential.
Definitely not essential. But the match flips, just like you're saying, that it doesn't really matter that you get those extra 2 damage. So too, I would say it all adds up in the other direction as well, where you're just basically getting more bang for your buck. So if you can best buddy it, definitely best buddy it. There's always that sort of toss up about which ones you should best buddy. Like I was saying, best buddy the Pidgeot over the Noctowl, because you're going to be seeing more CMP ties with other Pidgeots. That's a good thing to keep in mind. Like, what are you seeing in the meta? If you're seeing something often, then you want to best buddy that.
For sure.
What do you think about Aurorus?
Yeah, I've looked at that a couple of times. I don't think it will be amazing.
Carl says that he already has a best buddy Pelipper. Is that true?
I believe him.
Is that true? Is it a hundo? Is it max? I want to know everything. Pokemon Games says hi.
Games in the house.
Hello. Too kind, AJ. Too sweet.
What'd you say? You two-timed AJ?
I said too kind.
Oh, right.
I would never.
So, if we see a huge uptick in Alola Ninetales, then Aurorus might have a lot of play there. It's just getting so hard countered by a lot of big picks. Swampert, G-Fisk, Obstagoon. Venusaur beats it, even though like you do have win conditions. Like Venusaur can tank a Weather Ball where Aurorus can't tank a Frenzy Plant. AJ, you'd probably give permission as well. AJ, I'd like to see other streamers, and you're like, be my guest.
Oh my lord, what has this stream turned into? So, the place that Aurorus really shines is with the Meteor Beam buff, right? Which is kind of tricky to simulate, because sometimes you want to go for the Meteor Beam even though you know the opponent is gonna shield it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's not that many more Powder Snows to get to. Aurorus actually loses some battle rank rating in the 2s instead of the 1s. I think that it really shines in the 0s, right? Because Meteor Beam is just so oppressive. Oh, actually, no, it goes down in the 0s.
But I bet if you look at all those wins and losses, it's exactly what you would expect. Like losing to all the fighters, losing to like Swampert still, that kind of thing.
Let's see. So we have. I guess that I can't really simulate the 2s versus the 1s or anything like that here in the battle matrix. Yeah, I don't know the best way to show that.
How's it do against Charizard in general? It does say it wins. That's with a bait. What if you turn baiting off?
And baiting off in the 2s?
Yeah, or in any shield scenario. Okay, so if you throw a Meteor Beam, even if it's like how much does a Weather Ball do after a Meteor Beam buff? If you go to Sandbox, if you click on Sandbox mode, so it's on the top right of the timeline. Scroll down. Yep. Yeah, perfect. Got it. And then click on Weather Ball. Yep. And then.
Oh, I did not know about this.
Yes. Unclick shield this attack. Yep, and apply changes. Perfect. So now that'll tell you it's doing 57 damage or 37%. That doesn't sound like much, but then how much are the Powder Snows doing?
So it's doing 6
4.
as opposed to 5. That builds up.
So 4%. So I mean, you're adding an extra 20% just in powder snows.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, okay, so that's good. You probably wouldn't be able to tank a blast burn comfortably. Yeah, Pokemon games, just do the one with the higher CP. That's it sounds like the way to go.
Well, wait, let me do 2 for the Charizard and 0 for the turn off sandbox mode. So it does a little over 50%.
Look, I think Aurorus is just a worse Walrein in this situation. I think Walrein, that, like, obviously Aurora is fantastic anti-flyer, so's Walrein though, and Walrein won't get as hard hit by the counter users. It will still beat Charizard. It'll beat Swampert, which Auroras can't do.
Aurorus does beat Walrein though, it seems. But obviously there's baiting's turned off actually, so no baiting. It does beat Walrein.
You still have to worry about those earthquakes though, right?
Well, with baiting turned off, it wins in all shielding scenarios.
In that situation though, hang on, scroll up again.
Yeah.
You've got the Walrein not shielding the Meteor Beam at the start. So that's dependent on landing a Meteor Beam successfully. Like if they shield the Meteor Beam, then you're in a bit of trouble there.
Wouldn't you get off another Meteor Beam?
As in if they shield the first one. And who outpaces to, like, do they get to an earthquake before you get to a Meteor Beam, or is it the same time? It might be the same time. No,
you
no.
outpaced.
Yeah,
you outpaced.
You're right. You're right. Okay, so that's something.
Yeah, I think that it looks like Aurorus can pretty reliably beat Walrein. Obviously, it's a very dicey situation because of all the potential debate and stuff, but I would recommend just going straight Meteor Beam versus the Walrein.
Yeah.
And you can just barely survive an earthquake. This is a situation where you want a bulky Aurorus, I think.
Yeah. And then, so there would be a pretty intricate baiting game happening there, because, you know, if they're starting from even energy, like if they bait, then they're gonna, you know, outpace to the next earthquake, and if you bait, then you're gonna outpace to the next Meteor Beam again, so it's you've got to be really keeping track of energy in that matchup.
I remember that Aurorus was a real hot commodity in the Weather Cup just because of the Meteor Beam buff feature. Like, Aurorus would just go off if it could farm down something and then come out with a bunch of energy and just keep Meteor Beaming. Obviously, this meta is a lot more expansive than the Weather Cup meta, so there's a lot more stuff that can potentially hard counter it.
We haven't looked at Steelix at all yet.
Well, it's the elephant in the room, right? Like, this thing is
it's
a
more
fucking
like
monster.
A giant steel anaconda in the room.
Yes, the anaconda here does want some. It wants everything. The presence of Psychic Fangs as an addition to the Steelix moveset is so offensive to me. I don't really understand why Niantic specifically chose Steelix to get Psychic Fangs. very scary.
I don't know.
Sure.
They've got a reason for everything. We are not always privy to the reasons.
Trust John Henke.
In Henke,
trust Mr. Henke.
So winning again like that. This is a solid group of wins here. I like the War Rain and that Venusaur being very close. I mean, you just straight Dragon Tail Psychic Fangs there, surely. That Galarian Stunfisk, I think, would be different if you can land an... Oh, yeah, this is with Crunch. Okay, so...
Right.
The difficult thing with Steelix is, like, the choice between Crunch and Earthquake means, like, you are seriously making some choices between which Pokemon you want to beat.
Right.
Because with Earthquake, you probably wouldn't be able to beat Trevenant, for example.
I don't know. So first of all, if Steelix does have Earthquake, it seems to have a much more negative matchup versus the Walrein, because it doesn't get to the Earthquake versus the Walrein, and then Walrein gets to a Earthquake, takes it out. Against Trevenant, it does have a very safe matchup. Well, I shouldn't say very safe, but it's very safe in the sense that it's just whittling away the Trevenant's health. No need to bait or anything.
Yeah, sure.
So I think that Psychic Fang's Earthquake is looking pretty alluring here.
Yeah.
Let's put into the Battle Matrix. Put Steelix. Yeah, so there's a whole grab bag of stuff that it picks up / loses.
Yeah.
How does it pick up Cough Egregious? What? Doesn't make any sense.
Picks it up with Earthquake instead of Crunch.
What is going on here? So you take it out with the Earthquake here, whereas with Crunch... I don't understand this.
It survives a Crunch.
Yeah.
And in that sim, it's going straight Crunch. What about if you, like, Psychic Fangs and Crunch?
So can I do I go Sandbox mode for that? Or just turn back? Okay. So instead of crunching, why don't you do the right thing? And then it easily wins. That's...
Yeah, looks like it.
That's an example of not taking PV poke at face value. Because yeah, I mean, you would expect the Steelix to go Psychic Fangs first. So I guess that the Cough Egregious would not shield.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, there is the issue of, like, they'll probably always expect the Psychic Fangs first, which means they're less likely to shield.
Yeah, so obviously then Cough Egregious wins. That's pretty funky. That's pretty funky that
So what if they...
It says that.
What if they let through a Crunch on the first move? If you go back to that sim for a second.
Yeah.
But if you throw Crunch first and they let it go, how does that match up? Go from there.
Crunch. And then... So, it gets closer, but... Oh wait, what if you Psychic Fangs here? Does that do enough to flip it? Probably not. No. No. It gets closer, but...
I mean, you are getting to... If you look at that thicker circle right at the end there. If you click on that, that means you've got enough for a Crunch. Got enough energy for a Crunch. So if you go to the drop-down menu... and click Crunch. Oh, no, you lose on CMP. So...
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
Cough Egregious with that. Wow, 20 more points in attack, despite the fact that Cough Egregious is infamously bulky.
Yeah.
So, and then there's the Mandibuzz matchup. Not really sure what's going on here. Yeah, that's baffling. It's just showing it going straight Psychic Fang, so there should not be any difference.
Yeah.
Apparently, winning the Mandibuzz matchup. That's kind of crazy.
So, just a quick one from CS Hate says, it bothers me that it was normally whatever the Pokemon learns through level up only, and now Psychic Fang brings in the possibility of TM-based moves for Mons, which opens the floodgates for a lot of broken setups. Also, Elite is in the house. Hello, Elite.
Yes, I had to bring back Elite's face to my emote list because Panic was talking about Elite's matchups and we had to spam it. And I forgot. Let's just say I forgot to take it off. Grr.
Grr. Grr indeed.
That's his catchphrase. We all love Elite. We all love Elite and his famous catchphrase in this channel. Forgot. Elite, you've seen my gameplay. I forget what's in the lead. Not even at the late game. I forget what's in the lead in the mid game. So
preach.
I forget.
Preach.
That's why I stream, to be honest, is I hope that people are watching and they can remind me. Yeah, so Elite, what are you thinking about running? Are you running Ultra League Premier? Ultra League Open? That is true, Elite. That's why you are the GBLA star and I'm not, as I always make these excuses. Probably Premier.
So, just in a public service announcement, an Earthquake Steelix will lose very hard to a Galarian Rapidash. Just write that down.
Wait, Galarian Rapidash has Overheat now, doesn't it?
Say again?
It has Overheat now.
Galarian Rapid? No, high horsepower.
Right. Right. That is a spicy meatball.
So, mark that down, everyone. Galarian Rapidash, which doesn't have to be XL'd, I would imagine.
Well, we've heard it here first, folks. Elite is going to be using Pidgeot.
Pidgeot?
Yeah.
XL Pidgeot?
Pidgeot. Yeah.
Yeah, Pidgeot.
We all love the Pidgeot here. That was one of the first Pokemon that we looked at.
So, I mean, Steelix can get close against a lot of these fighting Pokemon as well.
Close.
Shadow Wrath.
And even winning against some of them, which is kind of scary.
Regular Machamp. Chestnut. I'd be keen to check out Chestnut a bit later.
Chestnut is a new star of the show.
Primate.
For sure. I think it ranks pretty high, right? No, it does not. Okay, I thought it was higher. It's 74. Right. It definitely reaches your threshold.
Hey, look out, it beats Crabominable.
I'm scared. I'm scared now.
Alright, let's check out
Chestnut to be reckoned with.
Then. We did take a look at Pelipper. It's got chops. It can beat the Swampert Charizard core. It beats your fighters, and the best buddy can beat an Umbreon. So Pelipper does look okay. In a lot of cases it's pretty bait dependent. Is its biggest challenge.
Yeah, and we can't forget that level 51 Pelipper picks up Umbreon.
Yeah.
Just barely. So neck and neck with Umbreon, which is pretty impressive. We haven't really been talking about Umbreon. Umbreon has kind of fallen to the wayside with all these new super bulky Pokemon coming out. I think it has a lot of play. Yeah, so Chestnut versus Steelix. This is baffling. It's going straight superpower. Why is that?
I mean, the superpower is super effective.
Yeah, but in the one shield? Okay, so if baiting is on, and it goes for the Frenzy Plant first, then it does win.
Okay.
Let's see how much Frenzy Plant does. Frenzy Plant does 51. Superpower does 69, so Superpower doesn't do a whole lot more than the Frenzy
And you're
Plant.
debuffing yourself, so I imagine it would do less than a Frenzy Plant after the first one.
Right.
I'm kind of looking for, like, what I'm really excited to find are these Pokemon that beat the things that you don't expect them to beat. Or at least, not necessarily beat. Like the whole Shadow Gliscor being able to get a shield off of Swampert, right? Like that kind of thing. Those are the things that are really appealing to me. Those are the things I want to find.
Guaranteeing shield advantage. It's always nice.
Of course, the threat of War Rain makes Gliscor pretty hard to run, but... And like Charizard and stuff.
Yeah, I'm always thinking about like what's accessible. Like the most accessible Pokemon are the ones that you're the most likely to see. Here's something that's interesting is that Tackle is actually the recommended moveset on Greedent.
Okay.
And on Miltank. I think that we have a sort of like a shift in the meta. Suddenly a bunch of stuff actually is recommends Tackle instead of the non-stab energy generating move rollout or Bullet Seed. I don't hate it. I definitely don't hate it.
Bullet Seed would help you a lot against the Swampert. That's the main thing that it gets you.
Let's see, Tackle Greedent versus Bullet Seed Greedent.
Oh yeah, you're losing a lot more with Bullet Seed.
Oh yeah, wow. Let's see. It's kind of crazy that you pick up the Charizard matchup with Tackle. I assume that that's probably bait dependent. Let's see that.
That's baiting.
So no baiting. Yeah, no baiting. That's impressive. That's a nice strong win there. If you guys are seeing a lot of Charizards around, you just use that Tackle Greedent. You take care of it.
You go ahead, buddy.
If it's like, what was that?
No, never mind.
You go.
Continue.
Go right ahead. Let's see like a kind of a crummy Greedent, just in case people don't have the XLs right. Yeah, seems like a pretty safe matchup. That's the good thing about these one-turn moves, these one-turn super hard-hitting moves, is that you can usually just outbulk the competition. That's why things like Lickitung and Snorlax have historically been so good. Bulky plus one-turn move equals win.
I don't see what you're seeing, Smiley. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm Lyle 2.0.
New and improved.
Lyle with hair, for now at least. I have been molding recently. I think that's what is that the official lore on Lyle, is that he molded all his hair off? I believe so.
And he has small feet.
That is that's an additional lore item. We're just building up Pallet Town lore today.
Yeah.
So you actually win the Empoleon matchup. I mean, I don't know. Do you think we're going to be seeing a lot of Empoleons? It's actually ranked quite low.
Yeah, I think so. With the popularity of Shadow Alola Ninetales, the hype on Shadow Alola Ninetales, and Charizard having so much attention at the moment, like Empoleon has a pretty nice time against both of those Pokemon. With Charizard, it does need to worry about those Blast Burns. So it probably does need to use a shield. But it can, I think Empoleon can, one shield farm down a Charizard, right?
Yes, definitely. Definitely. Unless something crazy happened with this wing attack buff. I do remember definitely shielding and farming down Charizard back in the day. Okay, so we've got the one shield win versus the Charizard. You see here that it actually tanks a Blast Burn to the face.
Wow.
That's really nice to know.
Wow. Yeah.
My Empoleon is a rank 4, so and I've seen a lot of I feel like my Empoleon being a little bit more bulky, even though Empoleon is quite a glassy Pokemon. Bulkier Empoleon picks up some surprising matches and also still wins CMP over pretty much every Swampert out there. So it pays to be bulky, definitely.
Yeah. I actually didn't know that Empoleon wins CMP against Swampert.
Yes, I do think if you have a really high attack Swampert, you can win CMP. But usually, you see here, Empoleon 161.1, Swampert 158. Let's maximize 160. We're down to 160, which definitely Swampert can get to if it goes up to, let's see, 10. Nope, not quite. 12, 15. Yes. So you gotta kind of specifically plan for the Empoleon matchup if you want to win CMP with Swampert.
Okay,
but I think that also might flip the match. That might flip the matchup. No, you get to the Earthquake anyway. Yeah, this matchup's always so dicey. The Swampert versus Empoleon matchup.
I think though that it's Empoleon does a lot better than what this ranking suggests if you can call the baiting game. So if you can manage to shield an Earthquake from a Swampert or a Walrein or a Galarian Stunfisk, then you've suddenly got a much, much higher chance in this game. So I think Empoleon is a bit underrated. Did you just hear that?
My dog just gagged really loudly out there. He's
not
fine.
An Empoleon fan?
At the thought of Empoleon.
Yeah.
What were you saying? Sorry.
That's okay. A lot of these, if you look at the key losses here, Swampert, Walrein, G-Fisk, you can flip all of those if you can successfully shield an Earthquake, or if you can win the baiting game there, you can flip those.
Yeah.
So I think Empoleon's
definitely
better than what that ranking suggests.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, sometimes you're just not in the mood to play the baiting game.
Sure.
Some people are. Some people love baiting. So if you're a master baiter, then I think Empoleon is your Pokemon.
Immortal Tomato says go for Shadow Registeel or stack the radar. So the consensus is that Shadow Registeel is a strict downgrade from the regular. For me, I always feel like I need to get the thing, just in case it becomes handy at some point.
Yeah, and also I don't have a decent Registeel at all for any league.
There you go.
So I'm definitely hopeful for my purified super high rank Registeel. I guess it is base. What is it? Base 6 IVs, which is not great.
Yeah.
So the best you could hope for is like an 8 attack and then high defense and HP, which is still better than I've got. I've never even done a Registeel trade before, so
yeah, right.
Hopeful. I don't know if you saw. You probably haven't seen, but Jonkiz actually was like kind of showing off that he's been popping off with Shadow Registeel. So I'm excited to see the Jonkiz video.
Has he already got it?
On that, he does. He lives in Europe. He gets everything first.
I'm in Australia.
That's true.
Yeah, I get everything 5 hours before he does.
That's kind of shifty. Now I think about it. I don't know. He goes on. He kind of astral projects.
Hang on. So I thought Shadow Registeel only became a thing like on the 1st of Feb, right?
Yeah.
So for me, it's 1:25 in the afternoon on the 1st of February, which means for him right now, he's in Germany. That's got to be like, I think they're 9.5 hours behind us. So, what is that? 5 a.m. or something like that. So, Shadow Registeel has only been live in Germany for 5 hours, and it's the middle of the night. I can't imagine he's got a Shadow Registeel at this point.
That's kind of what Jonkiz is known for, though. He just goes for the new Pokemon ASAP.
Yeah.
I mean, this is his job, I think. I don't think he has a job besides content creation. Yeah, he pops off. I definitely recommend checking out Jonkiz videos. He always has... It's a race between him and Homeslice Henry to get the new stuff first. So I'm excited to see the team that he comes up with. Yeah. There are some matchups that Shadow Registeel picks up in Ultra League, I believe. I feel like it's even weaker in Great League than Ultra League, because in Great League you have shenanigans like it just gets farmed down by Dragon Breaths and the 2 shields against like Altaria and stuff like that, which is not a good look.
Raid hour in 5 hours while everyone else is tomorrow. Yeah, for myself and Hayden, raid hours in 5 hours. What's in raid hour?
Hey, I just saw AJ's comment. Thank you. AJ says that Lyle went through a big glow up, and we've got Will Cujo. Will Cujo, welcome in. Not gonna let that sassy comment slide. We got Jonkiz is 5 hours ahead of us. I don't know how he did it. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say.
I think we've established Jonkiz as a spoofer.
No, he's just a very magical person.
He just takes regular trips to Kiribati every time a Pokemon is released.
Exactly. You gotta admire the effort. Wait, I just saw Mantine. I forgot about Mantine. This thing is annoying, right? It's got the Bubble Beam and the Ice Beam for the ultimate baiting potential.
Posted it 2 hours ago. That's ridiculous. Spoofer confirmed. Yes. So what do you think of Mantine?
Well, our good friend and fellow Pallet Town streamer Sarko used Mantine to great effect in the Great League.
Okay.
It's incredibly bulky. I'm not sure if it's as comparatively bulky in the Ultra Premier, but there's a lot of stuff in the Great League that it can just farm down going straight Bubble Beam. Like you 2 shield, you Bubble Beam them down to non-existence, right? So I'd be interested to see if that's the case in the Ultra League.
Yeah,
at least the Samandibuzz, that's a big oof.
Like it would hate the ice types.
Oh wait, it does. It actually wins against Mana Buzz, I should say. It wins against Mana Buzz. That's good. Going straight Ice Beam. That's a good look. Because sure, Ice Beam is super effective, but Mana Buzz is Mana Buzz. You know, you don't have to bait with the Bubble Beam.
So I think it's looking like a bit of a dugong, where like dugong just.
Bro, you can't just call something a dugong. That's so rude.
And I'll do it again.
Dugong does not pass your threshold, by the way. It has a score of 80.
I was just thinking like
It's
dugong.
just sad
is
for me
great
because, yeah.
It's like
Yeah,
dugong...
no, I feel it. But I do love the idea of Dugong for Ultra League. I have a Hundo Dugong. I think that I almost have the XLs for it, so.
So you basically just win by debuffing constantly. That's against the
Are you talking
ice
about
types in
Mantine?
particular. Yeah, yeah.
But in Ultra League, it seems to be less of the case. Like, you know, against Mandibuzz, you don't bait at all. You just go straight Ice Beam. I like that. I like the idea of a Pokemon that can bait but doesn't need to bait.
And again, another Pokemon that beats Swampert Charizard. It would probably beat Pelipper as well, I imagine.
Yes, it does. Oh, it ties. It ties with Pelipper. But that is fascinating. It actually goes for the Bubble Beam at the very end versus Pelipper. Pelipper goes straight. Hurricane. I feel like it's likely that Pelipper would bait in this situation.
Do you think?
Depending on the scenario, of course, but yeah, this is kind of a dicey matchup for sure. Tying with the Pelipper, I would not imagine that. Look how much bulkier Mantine is than Pelipper. And so this is a case where Best Buddy probably makes a difference. Let's see. No, it still does. Let's see if it makes a difference if you Best Buddy in the other direction. Yeah, so once again, Pelipper picks up another matchup versus the Mantine with the Best Buddy. And you see that the Mantine, conversely, does not pick up the matchup. Let's see if they're both Best Buddy, what happens here. Okay, they're tied again.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this is a situation where you definitely would prefer to Best Buddy the Pelipper over the Mantine. I was gonna say that the Alola Ninetales matchup looks very interesting. Are you seeing this? Bubble Beam, Bubble Beam, Bubble Beam, Bubble Beam, win. Insane win here. They can go for the Dazzling Gleam all they want. This Dazzling Gleam does less than the Weather Ball does in the beginning. It does 32 damage. The Weather Ball also does 32 damage. So the exact same amount, actually. That is hilarious. A move that costs twice as much, doing the exact same amount.
That's real interesting. Real interesting.
So this is also nice, right? Like, just like the Mandibuzz matchup where you don't have to bait, you just go straight Ice Beam. You don't have to worry about... it's a very safe matchup, basically, here. As long as you lock in your Mantine versus something like Ninetales. You just Bubble Beam it down, they throw their phone away in frustration, and you get the win.
Galarian Stunfisk.
Boombasti, welcome in.
Hey, Boombasti.
Boombasti, Best Buddy, Shadow Steelix.
Has Mandibuzz Breakpoint.
That's good to know.
That's very good to know.
We haven't even been looking at Shadow Steelix. We did see that regular Steelix beats the Mandibuzz just straight up. Right? Which is kind of crazy.
Yeah. Check this out. This matchup against Galarian Stunfisk. Mantine Galarian Stunfisk.
That's nice.
That's your bubble beam that down, and then just hit it with an ice beam at the end. Ice beam.
I think that we've just found a really good, possibly underutilized pick here, in the Mantine.
This is interesting. The ice beam still, even though the ice beam is neutral as opposed to the super effective bubble beam, the ice beam is doing more damage per energy.
Oh yeah, definitely. Bubble beam is a potato move. Bubble beam.
After 4 debuffs, Rock Slide does 17% damage to the flying type.
Ooh. Ooh, you hate to see it. I hate to see it. So, is there anything else that chat wants us to look at? I have a few more ideas of stuff.
I want to know what you pair a Mantine with. What would you pair it with? Double, so fighters, I guess.
Well, we can just look at the handy PV Poke device. PV Poke team creator. Steelix, of course. Steelix with anything is amazing. We got Galarian Stunfisk, so you can just do the Mantine double Steel team if you are feeling a little bit toxic there. No disrespect at all if you want to do that. I think that's a very strong looking team. Scrafty, double, Obstagoon, a lot of options here. So basically what you're seeing here is you're seeing either ABB Steel or ABB like pseudo fighter slash fighter that's weak to fighting.
Yep.
Are the two recommendations.
I mean, so Mantine G-Fisk, even though it's only a C for coverage, that safety is at a high, and like there's absolutely no hard wins in this group. And like, yeah, looking at these, I mean, Lapras is always an underrated pick, I guess. So is Blastoise actually.
Yeah,
but like,
Blastoise
you've got
is a cool pick.
Yeah. Where's Blastoise?
Let's look at Blastoise. Blastoise is one of those one-turn bulky Pokemon. I love the one-turn fast move pressure bulky Pokemon. No, rank 50 is not bad at all.
So you're beating your waters, fires, and ices with Blastoise, which is huge. It's got play against your... Would you run Ice Beam or Skull Bash?
Oh man, I think I would run Skull Bash in Premier and Ice Beam in Open. I don't think that Ice Beam has a whole lot of play.
Well, I mean, it would
Premier.
give you some play against Trevenant. It would probably improve your matchup against Pidgeot.
Is it really necessary versus the Pidgeot? Because the Pidgeot is just going to debuff you to hell anyway. Let's look at the Matrix. Let's look at the handy Matrix here. Blastoise. We got Blastoise. Part 2. Oh, Ice Beam isn't Legacy. I forgot. No. Ice Beam's only Legacy on Lapras. That's good. So you can switch it around. Okay. Not a whole lot of difference, but the Ice Beam one does lose quite a few, at least against the Pokemon that they're pitting it against.
Yeah, and those
yeah, it depends on how you're playing it.
Yeah.
What was that?
Those are some notable losses. It doesn't seem like you're picking up Trevenant or Pidgeot with the Ice Beam.
It always assumes that they either they either no shield the Skull Bash or they they shield a Hydro Cannon, right? Let's actually see. Let's see how this Umbreon matchup goes. Wow, this is a crazy matchup. I'm always thrown when I see these Ultra League matchups after I haven't played Ultra Leagues in a while, and how long it goes on for. Like, this is crazy. They Skull Bash, use Skull Bash after at the second charge move after already throwing the Hydro Cannon here, and then there's still like this is still mid game.
Yeah.
Skull Bash in the mid game, and then the Umbreon out here throwing returns. I don't even trust this. Let's see.
Welcome to Level Up to It says Rip Dust is scared of building that Ultra League Pidgeot. I mean, Pidgeot's gonna be good. Pidgeot's gonna be a really good. If I'm thinking, to be honest, if you're gonna go double flyer, I think Pidgeot and Mantine might be the way to go.
Yeah, I think so. I'm a Mantine believer after seeing these sims. Of course, it could be a sim warrior.
You're a
you never know.
of the Mantine.
I wish that I went harder on Mantine Spotlight Hour. Did you play Mantine Spotlight Hour?
When was that?
It was a while ago. It was like 6 months ago.
Yeah,
so.
okay.
Let's see how many Mantine candies I have.
I always work on Tuesday nights, so I can never participate in Spotlight Hour.
Oof.
Yeah.
That's a big oof. I have 175. I need to.
Right.
I need to get my walking shoes on. That Mantine.
I have 19.
Okay. We both have to do some walking. One of us more than the other. Mantike also something to look out for in eggs.
Oh, I thought
you know,
say,
now that yeah,
I thought you were gonna say Mantike in Ultra League. Like, hang on.
Mantike actually has some play in Silph metas in Great League, though. Yeah. I remember seeing, and that gave me just a little jolt of happiness. All right, and we see here that I believe that Umbreon actually picks up the Blastoise matchup with Dark Pulse. I'm a huge Dark Pulse believer. I think that Foul Play, despite being usually the recommended moveset, is usually not the way that you want to go.
Well, you dust off
Dark Pulse just hits a lot harder.
That Stunfisk level up. It's time to bring it back out again.
CS Height. Here are the eyes for you. Eyes for CS Height.
Beautiful.
Right. What was I gonna look up? Oh yeah, I was gonna think of something crazy. Can you guess what it is?
Can you give me a hint?
Fast move pressure.
Fast move
pressure-y.
Gallade.
Gallade? I mean, Gallade is old hat at this point, I feel like.
Shadow Aggron.
Shadow Aggron actually sounds pretty cool. But I was thinking that it's time to look at the Razor Leafers.
Oh, hello. Razor
Leafers. Look at this.
Whoop, whoop.
We have... Razor Leaf is not the recommended moveset for any of the actually decent Pokemon. We go all the way down. We got Lurantis. Can't forget about Lurantis, by the way. That is a spicy pick. It doesn't require that many XLs. Lurantis only requires like 40 or so. Florges has Razor Leaf, which is hilarious. Definitely don't recommend it there. We have to keep going down. Razor Leaf, not the recommended moveset for any of these Pokemon. Go way down here. Oh, Shadow Picture Bell. That's our guy.
So, okay. So what I'm getting here is that Razor Leaf, this Razor Leaf experiment was a bust.
I don't know. I think that it has play.
I mean, if you just
now, bear in mind, I don't have a Shadow Picture Bell. Huh?
If you just hate Swamp It, then sure.
Yeah, I think that most of the teams that I build are out of spite.
Aggron, Victory Bell, Torterra, Ultra League, Grasshole. Oh yeah, you never want a Sludge Bomb on Victory Bell. That's ridiculous.
Let's take a look at that Aggron. Okay. Shadow Aggron ranked higher than regular Aggron.
I don't think Grasshole works in Ultra League purely because there's so many double flyer teams.
Yeah, that's true.
Level Up accidentally has an Ultra League Shadow Vic.
Are you for real? That's exciting. I would use that just for the flex. I do know that one of my teammates in the Pallet Town faction faced against a guy who had an Ultra League victory bell.
Did they win?
I think that they won. Yes.
Hey.
Our guy won. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's just, I would be scared just to see that presented in front of me.
Is there anything else we could take a look? I mean, we haven't really explored Dragonite yet.
Or Altaria. Can't forget about Altaria.
Where's Altaria? Oh, Tentacruel as well, and Samurott. Samurott, I always feel
so many
underrated.
things. Can we just like can we slowly climb through this list really quick and yeah, what about Samurott?
No, I would actually probably, if I'm gonna choose between Samurott and Blastoise, I'd go Samurott.
Yeah. I assume that you mean Razor or the bug move, Fury Cutter, Samurott.
Yeah. Or Razor Leaf Samurott.
Razor Leaf. Fury Cutter, that's the one.
We did take a look
Is
at
there
that
a reason why?
Fantastic. Sorry? Is there because Samurott's a little bit like Swampert in that if you can come out of your matchup with a bit of an energy lead, you can actually really threaten the next Pokemon as well. It's another one that, like, just on a head-to-head basis, it will lose a lot of matchups, but then, like, you give it just a little bit of energy lead and it just, jumps up in the rankings.
So you're saying probably don't run it in the lead then?
I would say so, yeah.
That's interesting. Samurott actually had play in the Great League and in whatever it was, the Weather Cup, the Great League Weather Cup, as a safe swap.
Right.
Have you seen that, or have you tried that out?
No, I haven't. But
yeah.
Samurott was actually something I was kind of considering bringing to regionals. Just to give you that exclusive.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
When is the Australian regional?
So Melbourne is the next one coming up. That is the Oceanic International Championship.
Right.
And that is mid-February.
Soon.
Soon, TM.
I would recommend it.
Yeah,
anything else you're thinking of?
I'm so mad because, like, I was set on bringing Shadow Charizard.
Yeah.
And then bloody human catch a bug.
Now it's old hat.
Like, I'm gonna bring it, and people are gonna be like, "Oh yeah, he saw it work in Liverpool or wherever it was," and he said, "I'm like, no, that was my idea."
I mean, I think that regular Charizard's kind of better anyway. Not that regular Charizard is spicy at all anymore, too. I'm tired out of Charizard, frankly, after Ember.
After Ember Cup, right? I thought you meant Ember the move. Because is Ember a legacy move on Charizard?
Yes, it is. Yeah. Yes, it is. I think that it's time for the Dragon Breath Shadow Charizard, Mr. Fish. I think you should bring the Dragon Breath Shadow Charizard. I had so much fun with Dragon Breath Charizard back in the day.
I feel like Dragon Breath Charizard is gonna run into so many problems. Like, Alola Ninetales, Azumarill, G-Fisk. Like, Dragon Breath makes those matchups so much harder. I mean, Azumarill is gonna struggle. It's gonna struggle against Azumarill anyway, but
yeah, it's mostly for the memes, but just imagine, can I invoke a picture in your mind?
You may.
Mr. Fish, if you can just close your eyes for a second.
Okay.
You have the Charizard on your team. Your opponent obviously thinks it's Wing Attack, right?
Yep.
And imagine the look on their face when you bring in the Charizard, they immediately swap, anticipating wing attack, and they see a shiny Shadow Charizard just breathing fire down their face. And how terrifying that would be.
What did they switch in?
They switched in, I don't know, a Galvantula. Who runs Galvantula in the regionals? Whatever. I'm pretty sure that you can...
I think I ran it in Perth. Galvantula.
That's a cool pick.
Yeah. I might be very wrong though. Yeah. Anyway.
Whatever. I just love the how crazy extra the fast move animation for Dragon Breath is.
Palo agrees with me. Shadow Wing Attack. So the big draw cards for me with Shadow Zard. A Blast Burn takes both Lantern and Azumarill into the yellow.
I thought that regular Zard could also do that.
Ooh.
Not for the Azumarill, but for the Lantern.
Let's see.
Are we talking Great League?
Yes.
Okay.
Charizard for Lantern.
Yeah.
So Blast Burn doing 35, Wing Attacks doing 2.1%, so what is it? It's 7, it's 7 Wing Attacks. So you're doing 14% with your Wing Attacks and then 35%. So yeah, it's like it does pretty much exactly 50%. The Wing Attacks plus the Blast Burn.
The Azumarill matchup, definitely you don't get
no
50% point with the yeah, I can see that. The thing that I like about regular Zard over Shadow Zard is that you can tank that Sky Attack / Shadow Ball from the knockout.
That's a big deal.
All right, we've gone off track
a little bit.
I have a proposal. Does anyone have anything?
Well, does AJ know?
They want to see? AJ.
AJ was okay with it, wasn't she?
Does anyone have anything that they want to see? We have some requests for the Shadow A9 Charm versus Powder Snow. We can look at that again because that is kind of an interesting comparison.
Blepnir was just saying he has a proposal, and I'm like, does AJ know?
Nice. So let's just look at that again. We got the regular with Charm and Psyshock, and the Shadow Charm Psyshock. And yeah, I would say that generally speaking, the Shadow version is better. This is in the 1 shields. So you don't. Ooh, wait. You lose. How's this possible? Steelix? No way. You don't turn. Whoa. All right. So you lose Steelix with the Shadow version, whereas you actually tie Steelix with the regular. That's kind of insane. But then we go into the 2 shields here. Let's see. You actually pick up some pretty nice matchups here in the 2 shields. Yeah, you pick up these extremely common Pokemon, Snorlax, Swampert, Trevenant, which I think you're going to probably be seeing a lot of, rather than stuff like Double and Jellicent, which are very difficult to obtain. I mean, I don't know, maybe everyone has everything. But,
no, I can guarantee you not everyone has everything.
If you're planning to 2 shield and charm down, you want to use the Shadow.
Yeah, for sure. Rob Smith says, I have a Shadow Charizard with Wing Attack, but I have him for Great League and never use him, to be honest. Is he better off for Ultra League or Ultra Cup, like this coming Cup? I don't know about better. Like, Wing Attack Shadow Zard is boss in both leagues. Like, but do you want to power it up for Ultra League and forego having a Great League one? Probably. I'd say. I think it would do better in Ultra.
So anyways, what I like to do with these new cuts is I just like to scroll down and just like look at everything. That's my favorite pastime. Y'all heard it here first. Is I just want to like go down, see everything. We got the common picks, of course. We got the Steelix, the Stunfisk, the Scrafty, the Pidgeot, Swampert, Aurorus, Surfetch, Machamp. Boring. Gliscor is a fun choice. Walrein, we got Double, Charizard, Obscune. Let's keep on going down. Abomasnow. Let me know if anything catches your eye. Dragonite.
I do think that Shadow Gliscor is a bit of a sleeper pick. As long as you can, as long as you can avoid that Walrein and the A-Tails,
yeah,
you should be in a pretty good spot.
I just need another 500 candies is all. Like, that's not a big deal, right?
Gliscor doesn't have to be XL too much, does it?
I don't have any Gliscor candies. I spent all my Gliscor candies on a return Fleegar for Ember.
Right.
Regular candies. Yeah. It doesn't need to be XL'd at all, actually. But good luck finding that perfect IV combination, you know, for a super bulky non-XL. So Tentacruel, as we've been saying, really cool pick. And it actually recommends the double nuke. Not really nuke, but like the double...
yeah, that's interesting.
Big boy.
Yeah. No acid spray. No acid spray shenanigans.
Acid spray. Dragalge is actually a Pokemon that I have, and I've used it. I used it in the Ultra League Silph meta, and it kind of kicked ass.
Okay.
The good thing about Dragalge is that it does resist... I guess it's not really relevant here, but it does resist the Registeel's moveset, you know? So I've like farmed down Registeels with it. I think it's going to be a cool pick for Premier as well. It does get kind of bulky, XL'd. Yeah, so I'm just going to keep going down here. We got Ninetales, Skarmory, Umbreon, Toxicroak.
Halo says, how's Jelly looking these days? It wasn't good. It was ranked like 150 something or something dumb like that.
Well, we can't take that for granted, right?
Sure.
You can't. Never know. Maybe it's maybe it just doesn't look good in The Sims. There's always the timeout strategy with Jellicent. You can always, if you're clever, you can find a way to bubble beam something in the back enough that you can just win on timeout.
Yeah.
They're just doing no damage to you. And that would probably be with something like Jellicent, Umbreon, Alolan Ninetales, I think might have been one of those teams back in the day. Fortress, you know I love my Bug Steel types.
Yeah. But like, why bring a Fortress instead of like an Escavalier?
That is a very good question. Fortress does get really bulky, which is very nice.
Sure.
It's got that bulk, and you can do the the double Bug Steel type in the back.
Yeah. I
it's
imagine
a different moveset.
The Rock Tomb it would beat Mandibuzz.
Good question.
Hey, Yusei. Here coaching and not taking notes.
Yo, Yusei's here?
Yeah, Yusei's here.
What's going on? Mr. Faro, much respect. Alright, so we were at Mandibuzz. Oh yeah, it's got that good matchup. Are you thinking Mirror Shot Rock Tomb?
Probably Rock Tomb Earthquake.
Earthquake. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think it matters. I think Rock Tomb is so good in this matchup because they're both bulky, and then you're just doing the debuffs.
You can, if you don't know how long we've been streaming for, you can always tell by the quality of picks we're looking at.
I think that Fortress is a great pick. I use Shadow Fortress so much in the Open Great League and in limited Great League metas, and I just have a ball. I love how it like spins and it does so much damage.
And
Gudra,
it's ranked
spicy
pretty
pick.
high. Like, I'm surprised how high that's ranked. Overquill, I find it. Yeah. But Overquill, I would like to check out.
Yeah, Overquill.
Yeah.
So the thing with the poison dark types is that there's so many of them. You know, so I like to compare them together.
Okay, so
Overquill is kind of weird because it has those two non-stab charge moves.
Yep.
Right. And then there's, I don't know, do you want to compare it? Let's compare it to the Drapion and then to Skuntank.
Skuntank is the highest ranked Dark Poison, but not by much. Overquill is 3 spots below it. Then you've got Drapion, and Alolan is the worst.
Yeah, Drapion seems to be suffering from lack of fast move pressure syndrome.
Hisuian Coolfish is there.
What?
Number 118. And rated 84
boy.
overall, so it's above the line.
I do think that my doggies might need to go out. So if you can hold off, I can just take them out
totally
really quickly.
And then we can keep exploring the Dark Poisons. Go for it.
Yeah. You're right.
Angels of Palo says here for the Dragalge and Fortress hype. Dragalge is something that I kind of like looking at. I mean, but if you're gonna go a poison type, maybe Tentacruel a better option. I mean, they're both very similarly ranked. Obviously, the Tentacruel does a lot better against your Alolan Ninetales. A lot better. Beats the Walrein, which Dragalge wouldn't do. Gonna lose to the G-Fisk. Scrafty, that's interesting. That the Tentacruel is losing to Scrafty. That would have to be bait dependent. He just gone straight foul play with that one. Wow. Hitting him with a Sludge Wave and they survive. So you win the Zero Shields just going straight Scald. That's weird. So as opposed to Dragalge, what are you getting with Dragalge? So you beat Venusaur, which you wouldn't do necessarily with Tentacruel. Seeking. Oh, I don't know about that. Oops. Ranked to number 124. Again, beats Ninetales and Walrein. Has your RC win for your Pidgeots. So yeah, nice against the Flyers. Again, still not that Galarian Stunfisk, just beaten so many things that you want to try and hit. Like, it's beating so many things that have the ability to hit it for super effective, but it's just out bulking and out spamming all those things. Seeking a water type that's losing to Charizard. And that Poison Jab Icy Wind not enough to take out the Trevenant. Seed Bomb doing 48% damage. Also, Evan's here. Buona sera, Evan. As we hear Blepnir chatting to his puppies. Immortal Tomato's got a 0, 15, 11, Alolan Vulpix just now. Let's go. Alolan Vulpix hype. Now, the Shadow is better, but the regular one will do just fine. It actually, I think a lot of the Ninetales, I think, saw a bit of a drop in usage in the last Premier Cup, I think. So I'm thinking it'll be back a little this season. What to pair the G-Fisk with? Well, I just learned about this new feature. Pidgeot, Pelipper, Como-O, Trevenant, and Charizard. I think that G-Fisk Pidgeot pair would be busted. Look at that. A for coverage with those two. B for safety, B for bulk, C for consistency, so it is a little bit bait dependent, but Pidgeot G-Fisk only losing to Relicanth. I don't know if anyone has an Ultra League Relicanth handy. Lapras, Mamoswine, and Hippowdon. And then you've got your opposing Galarian Stunfisk. So you do need something against the opposing G-Fisk. What's my XL count looking like? I don't think I've got enough for... I think that's one of the ones that I've got, like, still in the double digits. XL candy.
So I'm seeing a Relicanth on my screen right now. Are we talking about the Naiad Cup? What are we talking about?
No, we are still going with the Ultra League Premier, and Relicanth is top meta. We just determined that while you were taking your dog
Oh
out.
man, I always miss the best stuff.
Yeah, right. So
let me take a look at this. Ooh, rank 108. I like.
Yeah, so start buying your flights to New Zealand.
Yes, gonna pull a Jonkus, as we say. Fly over.
Who definitely doesn't spoof anywhere ahead of his own time zone.
This is crazy. I would have never considered Relicanth, although I do remember that Home Slice Henry showed Relicanth in Great League and looked surprisingly viable. Oh wow, it's bulky. It's a bulky boy.
Have fun breakdowning more. I gotta head out. Thank you, Hayden. See you later. Can that new feature work on mobile? I think so. Yeah. I mean, check it out. It should be easy to find out.
Are you talking about the team building?
Yeah, suggested partners.
Yes, I do believe so. And this feature is really nice actually because
it thinks for you.
It takes a lot of the brain power out of it, and then you can think like, okay, if it's recommending this stuff, then I can think of stuff that has a similar role to these things and use those. Yeah, so how do we get onto the topic of Relicanth?
So we're Stunfisk and Pidgeot is a busted core.
Mm-hmm.
How does the coverage go down when you add Trevenant?
Well, when you add a Pokemon, like when you have two Pokemon on a team, it only takes into account the two Pokemon, right? Whereas if you have three Pokemon, that's like the average of the three, right? Not entirely sure how that works. Because you can add up to 6.
Yep, you can. So we maintain, if we use Scrafty, we maintain that A coverage, where the biggest threat is regular Machamp, not even Shadow. Gliscor, Como-O, Hariyama, Mantine, Phalanx, Toxicroak. So yeah, like, not like huge. Oh yeah, that's right, I don't have Shadows in this list.
Why is that?
It's by default, it doesn't include Shadows. You gotta like go into the advanced settings and turn it on manually.
Oh, that's good to know. I didn't know that.
So
Super Derek, you have plenty of brain power. Come on. Don't be so down on yourself. You're Super Derek.
Shadow
Knock it
Aggron
out of
any
the park.
use? Yeah, Shadow Aggron has plenty use, but it's like Bastion where it's just RPS. So like you lock it in
Ranks
against
higher than normal.
It's what? It's
Ranks
Oh.
higher than the normal Aggron.
how high is the normal Aggron ranked?
It's barely higher. It's
similar.
232 versus 234. But I always like it when shadows are ranked high.
I'm actually amazed it's that low, to be honest.
What?
I'm amazed it's that low ranked.
Aggron's always incredibly low ranked just because it's so slow and it's not bulky at all. 4100, that's very mid. Meteor Beam, come on, it recommends 2 rock type moves. A lot of the times, by the way, I've noticed TV Poke recommends a moveset that ranks a Pokemon lower, and I don't really understand why they do that. Something to do with like pinning it against the current meta, but then also penalizing it because of that. I'm not entirely sure why. So I don't think that you want to run Meteor Beam Stone Edge. I'm not entirely sure why you would have Stone Edge as your second move.
It's got Thunder, doesn't it? Would that be a second move?
Yes, that would be the second move. That would be what I would choose for the water types, of course. And it's got Rock Tomb, which I mean I feel like that would be better than Stone Edge. You have a debuffing move for the opponent and a buffing move for yourself in Meteor Beam. It's got Heavy Slam. Some people run Heavy Slam. Thunder would be what I would run with it for the coverage. So we were talking about the dark poison types.
Yes.
Did we already move on from that?
I mean, we can go back to it.
Yeah, so I mean, dark poison types have really helped me out throughout the season. I reached legend with Tapu Fini, Shadow Skuntank, Shadow Drapion the season before last. That was a really solid team, and because of that, I think that Shadow Skuntank, Shadow Drapion, or really just like any 2 poison dark types would be really strong in the back in Ultra Premier. The question is, what takes the place of the Tapu Fini?
What takes the place of the Tapu Fini?
I use Tapu Fini in the Ultra League Open. However, actually the team that Pogo King used, that I kind of took inspiration from, used Trevenant. So you could just go Trevenant, double dark.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, it's been like 6 months since then, but I think it's pretty evergreen as a team. Not in the Great League, the Ultra League.
Yeah, I like it. F for coverage. So
yeah,
what's beating all 3?
What's that?
So what is beating all 3?
Your team. Oh, this is for regular Ultra League. Go to Ultra League Premier. Ultra League Premier. Yeah, there we go. It's only a D now. Not so bad.
So yeah, what beats all 3 Pokemon?
Got Aurorus. Aurorus would be a problem.
I don't know how common Aurorus will be.
Well, I just assumed that every single person was Wikipedia. That's not true. Wikipedia loves Aurorus. Fighters like Scrafty, like dark fighters will be a huge problem. Pidgeot would be an enormous problem for this team, especially in the lead. But you see here that there aren't a whole lot of like hard wins. Like, sure, Walrein soft wins against everything, but I took out plenty of Walreins with the double dark poison backline.
Could you go like a Blastoise instead of a Trevenant?
I can always go for a Blastoise instead of a Trevenant. Coverage is F again. We lost the D.
Let's go down to the...
Wait, Swampert wins against Blastoise? That doesn't sound right.
And Walrein as well. How about Walrein instead of Blastoise?
Well, then you have the problem with the fighters. Fighters.
Yeah, no, you're right. Never mind that. Forget that. Pelipper or Mantine?
Pelipper, you know that they're going to rate the bulk poorly. Maybe Mantine. Oh, bulk's still a C. Not bad. Coverage, they're just not happy with the coverage. You need coverage versus everything, apparently.
Yeah, Talonflame is interesting. The Swampert's
Talonflame
still there.
double dark poison?
Oh, no, it's I think it was just a tangent.
Just in general, Talonflame. Yeah. I think that the top ranked PV Poke team for a while was for Ultra League Open was Tapu Fini, Registeel, Talonflame, and then I replaced the Registeel with Shadow Drapion, and it did really well. So something in the lead, and then Shadow Drapion, Talonflame in the back, I think works really well. A lot of the times you can get shields with Shadow Drapion, and obviously Talonflame does fantastic when shields are down in most situations. Yeah, so
I mean, yeah, and it takes Talon tanks a Rock Slide. Wins the one
yeah, if Charizard can, then Talonflame definitely can.
Yeah.
Okay, not bad. Mantine, Drapion, Talonflame is an interesting team. Swampert, Talonflame core. It's a pretty common core.
Let's see.
I think that's pretty good. Yeah. That dang Pidgeot. Hate Pidgeot.
Pidgeot is pretty busted.
It's busted and worryingly easy to obtain.
And most importantly, I've got the XLs for it.
Ooh. Let's go.
Now,
are you building it?
So are you
building it live?
Maybe not live. But I've got one here that is a lucky Pidgeot that I traded off a friend back when Wing Attack was still Legacy.
It is Legacy.
Well, as in like it now. It was before Elite TMs were a thing.
Right.
So it is 15, 15, 12. So I'm wondering.
Well, let's put it in the Matrix.
Pop it in the Matrix.
Pop it in the Matrix. Yeah.
I also have a 12, 15, 15 that doesn't have the move.
I would not do the 12, 15, 15.
Yeah, right. And a 14, 15, 13.
15, 13, 14? Okay, you lose the Surfetch somehow.
Wow.
But that has Brave Bird. I did not realize that Brave Bird was the recommend moveset for Surfetch. Not to say that it's a bad move for Surfetch. I would probably run Brave Bird, but ooh, look at that. Okay, so Hundo.
I mean, that's
barely,
fine. Yeah, like that's specifically
barely
relying
survives.
on baiting a Leaf Blade.
True. That's. I did not think that it'd be that close after the double debuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's just a bulk thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, just loses 2 matchups, not a big deal. I would go for the 15-15-12.
Yeah, right. Done. Sold. Don't have a G-Fisk
there
though.
we go.
Don't have the XLs for G-Fisk yet. I'm still at like 130 something.
You don't need a G-Fisk for this cup. What's the worst can happen? Just pop a Swampert in there instead.
Pidgeot Swamp.
Pop a Swamp.
Pop a Swamp.
Yeah, pop a Swamp.
That's B for coverage. That's without shadows though. Let's include shadows in there. Still a B for coverage. Let's go. We're losing to Walrein. That's the big one. Dragon. I mean, okay, so a couple of those are pretty meta. Walrein, Dragonite, Shadow Dragonite, and Mantine, Lapras. They're the 4.
Mm-hmm. The Crucible of meta.
What else we got? Surfetch double. So it's suggesting a fighter. Pidgeot and a fighter. Ooh, down a C.
Just popping random stuff into the team. See if this works. All right. What do you think about this as a ABC team? Is Pidgeot, Swampert, Alolan, Ninetales?
And what's your swap there?
Not really. It's like an ABC team, so there's no real safe swap.
Okay.
But you would swap whatever, like if you lead Swampert, and then they come in. I mean, I guess that Powder Snow, Alolan, Ninetales would be the swap.
Yeah,
I was actually thinking of Charm, but with Powder Snow, the Alolan Ninetales would be the safe swap, definitely. Let's try with Charm.
Yeah, I don't mind that at all.
Don't like this. Mm-hmm. Okay, and it looks exactly the same with Charm. So I like the idea of this team just because I like the idea of having something that has a lot of fast move damage to just kind of do cleanup at the end, you know?
Yeah.
You have no Alolan Ninetales?
Sorry?
Oh! We've got Lyle Jeffs 1.0 going to bed.
With the really small feet.
Yeah, dude with a really small foot in the house. You have to rest up. Lyle is gonna sweep Orlando.
I hope not. I'd hate for a Canadian to just come on down to Orlando and be like, yeah, see you guys.
To be fair, that'd just be sticking it to the man himself, to Mr. Walt Disney, who was infamously overly jingoistic. I would like nothing more.
All right, so I think we're getting a lot of people going to bed, having enough. I think we've covered this for a good 2.5 hours. I think we've gone through a lot of the.
Oh man, I was gonna scroll through the entirety of the PV Poke rankings.
All of them?
I'll just do that in my own time.
All? How many are we looking at?
It's like 1,000.
1,000?
Let's just go down to the bottom. Slacking. There you go. Yeah.
Okay.
Slacking at 517.
That yawn body slam. XL
Man, I'm not joking. I love looking at these low rank Pokemon. Shiinotic. Shiinotic
what
is
even
such
is Shiinotic? Oh, that's the mushroom thing.
The mushroom.
Yeah.
It's such a cool looking Pokemon.
Yeah, I can't believe we haven't looked at Shadow Dragonite at all.
All right, so my first video after the league switch will be lowest 3 ranked Pokemon in the Ultra League Premier Cup.
I
Will
lost
we climb
900
Dino?
points. Who'd run with Slake?
Points
Yeah,
in a day.
what's the suggested teammates for slaking?
Probably Audino. Yeah, their suggested teammates is you better put it with something good. Let's see Shiinotic. I love Shiinotic so much. Yeah, basically, if you go to the bottom of the list and you just look at the suggested teammates, those suggested teammates are the ones you're supposed to be using,
Yeah.
not the actual Pokemon at the bottom of the list.
Imagine if you were up the top and you just randomly clicked on something and it was like suggested teammate Chansey.
That would mean that what's his name? Hakuna Matata, the guy, the PvPoke guy, he's specifically has it out for you. You're at his elo, and he somehow created a team specifically for your IP.
And you know what I also really love about Shiinotic? If you scroll up just a little bit. Keep going. Yeah, there we go. Like, Pokemon that score abysmally in every metric except the consistency.
Consistently terrible. Good stuff.
Cool.
Fun stuff.
Let us find someone to raid. Who's on at the moment? We have Pokedoms doing art. We have VB5215. We have Housedark. We have Bubble Mouse. We have Wally Dog. We have Battle Bill. We have Panic. We have Fleece King. We have Ivan Espinoza.
Legend Tuna. Oh wait, we have Scourge.
Scourge. I don't know who Scourge is.
Scourge is my new favorite dude. Unless we have someone else that takes precedence. My recommendation would be Scourge.
Yeah, so SCORGE.
Yes. It's 0xSCOURGE. I can type it out if you need me to.
Yeah, do you want to put it in chat maybe?
Yeah. Super Derek! Have a great night. Thank you so much for being here.
Derek. And yeah, like we said, we do these meta breakdowns every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern US time. Yeah, check those out. We've also got a whole bunch of streamers on this channel. Myself, Blepnir.
Wait.
Yep.
AJ is going live.
Are we gonna wait for 10
AJ
minutes?
is going live in 10 minutes. Can we stall for 10 minutes?
I'm sure we can.
Uh-huh.
All right.
For our faithful...
Sorry, Scourge.
Our faithful viewer. Scourge has 61 viewers. I'm proud of Scourge. He's a very new streamer, but very skilled and very funny.
Yeah, right.
I was amazed by how just cracking up his whole stream. Let's go! Yeah, anything for you, Twitch babe. Swanna, hell yeah, we got Shadow Swanna up in here. Imagine if you were just like doing your battles and then you go up against a Shadow Swanna.
I literally wouldn't know what to do.
I think I would just lose.
I know what to do. Lose.
Top left.
Look at that. Dragon Claw from Charizard onto a Shadow D-Knight does 53%.
Dragon Claw from a what?
From a regular Charizard onto a Shadow Dragonite does 53%.
Yup.
So
I like.
I play a game with Lyle sometimes. Called the high-low line, where I will pose a question, which will have a numerical answer, and he has to pick his guess, and then I have to go with, like, say whether I think the correct answer is higher or lower than that.
Uh-huh.
So, how much do you think a Dragon Claw from a Shadow Dragonite. Shadow Charizard will do to a Shadow Dragonite. Keeping in mind, you've got the information that the regular will do 53%.
Okay. So that would have to be, I'm going to go with 75.
75%. Interesting.
I mean, it's mathematical, right?
It's yeah. I think you're pretty close.
It's too lazy to do the math.
I think you're pretty close. I'm gonna take the unders, but only just. So 75% is your guess?
Yeah.
64. Ooh, that was actually a bigger drop than I thought, but looks like Fish wins that one, and Blepnir, you are kicked off the stream. You are no longer allowed. Yeah.
No, dies of cringe.
Yeah.
Okay, now it's my turn though.
Oh, okay.
And so I ask you, how much does a flamethrower from an XL Gabite do to a Galarian Stunfisk?
Percentage?
Yes.
Can I see the Gabite's stats?
Yes.
157 attack, 2847 overall stat product. I'm gonna say 40%.
Oh wait, I have to do the over.
Yeah.
I will say over.
Okay.
Let's go over. Even though the stat product is like half.
Oh.
Okay. All right, we tied.
Yeah. Okay. Galarian Stunfisk's win-loss ratio against the entire Ultra Premier meta. Oh, so the entire Ultra Premier. So what
Am I going for percentage?
Percentage of wins overall in the one shield.
We're gonna go with 60. Nice and safe 60. Yeah, that was what you were gonna guess too, right?
I'm actually gonna go the overs on that one.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so that is meta. It's got 55 against the meta. We are on selective baiting. Against the whole cup, it's 74. Let's go.
Let's go. All right.
Oh, AJ's
all right, I see.
All right, we got one more. This is for the tie.
All right, one more. This is, you see it here. I'm still on the bottom of the list. I gotta go with. Let's go. A cross poison from a Parasect onto an Alolan Ninetales, baby. Woo! We got a 2900 stat product, 151 attack. Completely useless trivia. Pokemon trivia here.
45. You got an over
45. I'm going under. I'm going under here. Oh, I meant regular, not shadow. Does that change things?
So, on a regular Ninetales, there's no shadow Parasect, is there? No.
No. We staying? We're staying. 45?
Yes.
Under. Way under.
Boo. Actually, they can't see it on the screen. Do you want to scroll up a little? Oh, there we go. It's 29%. Yeah, I was way over. Way over. Okay, so we tied that game. Good work. So now we're going to
GGs.
raid Final Boss AJ. Good luck with your Ultra League Premier battles. I hope they do better than what my Electric Cup battles went.
Ooh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah, good luck to yourself.
I was up at 2,700 by the end of Weather Cup. Was it Weather Cup?
I saw that.
But now I'm back like below 2,300.
Okay, I finally broke the 2600s again.
Nice.
After Lyle steered me wrong last week, so
yeah, he
I'm
does
feeling
that.
good.
He's so bad.
I'm on the come up from a 300-point climb, so
Okay.
good spirits.
We've still got a month to hit
Good
Legend.
spirits. Oh yeah, we're gonna get there.
Yeah, we get it. You've hit it before. Yeah, you've hit it a bunch of times, haven't you?
Every time except for season 10.
Yeah, right. Cool.
Goddamn season 10 with the walking emote. Of course, I don't get the one emote that represents me in real life.
All right, thank you all for sticking around. Say hi to AJ, and thank you to Blepnir for covering. See you later.
It was fun.
Rating.